The big finale against the Nukkalavi. Just like the rest of the fights in the volume, there's a lot of starting and stopping with this one. It's not all terrible though. Nora diving in to redirect the hit is great. Nora and Ren's heart-to-heart under the house is great. Ren blinking and the image of crying baby Nora away legitimately gives me chills every single time. On the other hand though, I think Ren going feral isn't really well done. It doesn't really come across that Ren is throwing himself recklessly into danger. It more comes across like the others are mad at Ren for actually trying to stop the Grimm. Also, they saved the day the same way they wrapped up their fight in episode 1.
We hit it harder.
Yeah, they all just kind of decide to try more and then they suddenly win. On one hand, Ren is awesome, and his slicing up the Grimm piece by piece while internally attributing this victory for all he's lost is very cool and super poignant. But on the other hand, the way the team ends up easily beating the Nukkalavi makes it questionable about how no one was able to stop this monster before. And I've seen people argue that all the weapons in the Nukkalavi's den are simple tools. No guns, just regular spears, swords, and arrows. And yeah, that would make sense. But also, none of these kids use their guns to stop the Nukkalavi. Nora only uses her hammer, Jean only uses his sword, while Ren uses Jean's shield, Ruby only uses her scythe, literally only firing bullets to launch her blade into its arm. Any bullet that does hit the Grimm has seemingly no effect on it. Ren even beats the Grimm with a very small, simple dagger. So yeah, even though all these weapons lack artillery, the question still stands. Why couldn't anyone else beat this Grimm before now? I think we really missed an opportunity at having someone have like an upgrade to their semblance or something. Like this would be the moment where it'd be like, oh yes, their new evolved semblance or weapon is what saved the day, but they don't do that. All of that mixed with the fact the fight ends before the halfway point of the episode makes the resolution sort of feel flat. Very much like a, oh, that was it? The best part of the episode, hands down, it's Ren and Nora. All of their scenes are amazing. This really was their volume to steal, and it's so refreshing seeing these two finally claw their way out of the background. Also, it was amazing seeing Nora be the emotional rock for Ren. She's been very wacky throughout volumes 1 through 3. Seeing her showing off her serious side here is not only a fascinating change of pace, but also, I'm amazed it doesn't feel like it comes out of nowhere. Instead, making Nora come across as a character with much more depth than ever hinted at before. And then they hold hands, and it's so cute. Oh, I love them. The worst part of the episode, Ruby's stupid letter. Ugh. It should be no surprise that an excruciatingly long monologue by the character with the worst, most annoying voice in the whole show is going to be a drag to sit through. But to really rub salt into the wound, it feels unearned. Ruby didn't do anything all volume. You ever realize that? Her biggest contribution to the volume is throwing herself into a dangerous moment and getting Crow critically injured. Something no one blames her for and she never acknowledges. The monologue takes way too long and this letter never gets brought back up. Clearly they just made this scene because they didn't know how to wrap up the volume. Ironically, all it really does is highlight how little things have progressed. Cinder is still bumming around Salem's lair while Emerald and Mercury awkwardly linger nearby. Blake has decided to start doing the thing Sun assumed she was doing right from the get-go. Weiss feels like she's just taking the first step that should have ideally happened by the halfway point of the volume, not at the very end. Yang is the only one who's actually gone through a developmental arc during the volume, but that leaves a bad taste in my mouth knowing that all that development happened off-screen between episodes 4 and 9. Also, now her outfit sucks. I hate this outfit. Unfortunately, the final episode for Volume 4 lands at number 7 on my list. A slightly less than mid place to end things off on. Honestly, the whole volume rubber bands a lot in quality. Likely the shift to Maya and also being the first volume being made after Monty's unfortunate passing meant there was a lot of weirdness behind the scenes. The scripts noticeably feel different. Volume 4 also tries shifting to a much more serious tone than Volumes 1 through 3 had. Also, this volume has the 4 main characters all separated, meaning they juggled 4 different plotlines all at once. Also being the first volume where these characters aren't stationary. No more just sitting around school, this shows the kids traveling across Mistral. All in all, a lot was very suddenly different here, so it's hard to try to really narrow down why exactly the volume as a whole feels so different. The scripts feel stretched and the dialogue feels empty. Is it the juggling of different plot lines? Is it the attempt to be more serious? The animation dips in quality as the volume goes on. Was it the switch to Maya? Was it the ever-changing locations for the story? Was it management? Probably. But I don't know. A lot goes on, and in the end, Volume 4 is a very mid-volume. Like, it's fine. When it first aired, I didn't really like it, but nowadays, I think it's perfectly fine. But now, well, it's time to really strap in. Volume 5 is next. Oh boy.
Dear Diary, today I couldn't find my diary, so I'm writing this on both of my Kung Fu Panda 2 DVDs.
So, what I'm doing is I'm going to be reviewing a new episode of RWBY every day for the month of October. There's a handy-dandy playlist of all the episodes in order, and a playlist from last year where I covered volumes 1 through 3. I hope you all have fun with the series. If you want to see the next episode a day early, consider becoming a patron. On that note, shout out to my $10 patrons. You're all amazing. Andrew, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, Classy Critic, Noah Perkins, Sunny Shy, Jake, Amber, Hype Man, Isaiah, Scaring Crows, Not All That Evil, Holly, Boy Howdy Boy, Jacob, Ben Sketchbook, Rain, Omega Fighter, Trash, Wild Pilot, Josh, Twisty, Juan, Bunkin Duncan, Lycan99, Hoodie Angel, Ranger, Hut Mutt Butt, Cloudy Days, The Enigma, C1 Trooper, Sean, Primo Rune, Steve, and Overhypen.